Hello, in Pockets here, backing in with another Phyrexia All-Will-Be-One Collector Booster Pack. Running low, this is one of our last three. In last pack we did get the Manga, Junji Ito, Elish Norn, non-foil, non-step, but locally, it's still a hit. Still a hit. I wanted the card, I want to use it, but it's also worth, about $130 here locally in Canada, about $100 in US, I guess, if you convert it to their funny money. Funny to me money. But let's see what this pack does. Let's get right into it. Getting excited. So last pack definitely was a hit. I imagine you guys will all agree. It is not maybe the biggest hit, but it's a hit. And it does what I want it to do, which is give me cards to build decks with. Let's open this up. For those that are new, if this is the first one of my openings you've seen, welcome. How I do it is I do a relatively quick through once just to see what's in here. And then for those that are interested to stick around, we do a little more in-depth look at the individual cards in the second part of the video. So, welcome, and let's get started. So another Rebel token, Green Sun's Twilight, we'll see what that does. Phyrexian Golem. Okay, so, story about this card, now that I'm talking, now that I've just seen it. This is the, I'll talk about it in the second half, remind me. Not that you can, but yeah, Green Sun's Twilight. Not bad. In foil, I am glad to see that for reasons that will soon be apparent. Okay, I haven't seen Thrun before in this one. Thrun, Breaker of Silence. We'll take a look at him. That's cool. Full extended art, non-foil. Another quick Silver Fisher. We've seen a few of these guys. This one's stepped as well. Unfortunate loss of the step slot in this pack, but, still makes the card look great. So, oh, wow, double in the foil. Bone Picker Scourge. So far, unless Thrun is something amazing, this pack isn't doing so well. Let's see. Okay. I don't care how expensive this card is. This is a card I wanted. I spoke way early packs when my son wants to make a Mirror Commander deck, so this is perfect. I might be able to get a couple weeks of dishes out of him for this one. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. That looks great. And if not, I will probably build that deck. On a Red Sun's Twilight, so that's two of the Twilights. Now I've seen all of them? I don't think I've seen the blue one yet. We just got the green one and the red one in this pack, and I've got a blue and a white before, or a black and a white before. Cool. Vindictive Firestoker. I don't remember if we've seen this one. I think we have, but there we go. It might have been in a different art, which is why I don't recognize it. A basic forest. Awaken the Sleeper. Yeah, you can go. Whatever, you can go there. Veil of Assimilation. I'm trying to give people a chance to pause and read the card if they need to. Furnace Skull Bomb. I keep saying Spell Bomb, but it's Skull Bomb. Volshock Splitter. Equipment. Duress. Hey, look, that's a card I know I've used a million times. Oh, well, that's creepy. We'll look at that in a minute, but that's creepy. What the hell? Pardon my language, but literally, like, look at it. That's awesome. All right, so that's the pack. Did I put all my rares over here? Yeah, none of these are mythics, so I didn't get a mythic in that pack, so that's the thing. Other than Urtet, which I'm glad I got him, so I don't care how much he's worth. It wasn't really a huge pack, so that's great. For those sticking around, let's take a look and see here. So we'll start with him, just because he's kind of, and we'll get this guy up there, and we'll get this because I have a story. Okay, that's right. I think I'm getting better at this. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Am I getting better, or what else should I do? Is there something I should do better? Let's take a look. Urtet, Remnant of Memnarch. That's a tongue twister, isn't it? Remnant of Memnarch. 3 mana, 2/2 for legendary artifact creature Mirror, or Myrrh, depending on how you say it. I say Mirror. Whenever you cast a Mirror spell, create a 1/1 colorless Mirror artifact creature token. Okay, so in a Mirror deck, you should be casting a lot of mirrors, battle spheres and that sort of thing. It's a 5 color because the second ability at the beginning of combat on your turn, untap each mirror you control, which is great. So you can cast a bunch of spells in your first main phase, untap them, and then attack. Can't go wrong with that. And then you play Unwinding Clock and untap them all again on your opponent's next turn. Why not? For Wooburg, 1 of each color and tap. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on each mirror you control. Activate only during your turn. Now, that includes Urtet, for 1, right? But also, if you end up having 2 of each color, the beginning of combat on your turn, you untap all your mirror, and then you can do this ability again. So you can technically do this twice a turn. And it affects, it makes him an 8/8 if you do that. Like 5/5 the first time, and it makes him that, plus every other mirror you have gets those tokens. So that's pretty sweet. This guy's going to be pretty sweet. One way or the other, this house will have a deck with this guy in it. Awesome. Good pull. Whether this is value or not, this deck is a win for me, so I was worried I wasn't going to see him. Although I probably could have just bought one, depending, but anyways, awesome. Thrun, Breaker of Silence. 3 and green. Legendary creature Troll Shaman for a 5/5. So that's not bad. This spell can't be countered. That's nice. Trample, always good to have trample on a big body. Especially a 5 mana 5/5 with trample that can't be countered. Like, you play that in limited. Maybe not at rare, but it depends. Thronebreaker Silence can't be the target of non-green spells your opponent controls or abilities from non-green sources your opponent controls. So that gets rid of, like, I can math. 20. Hello, well that was interesting. So, editing that video, and turns out half of it was just corrupted. Everything from about what you just saw is just gone. So, figured I'd jump back in, see if I can fix it, and we'll pick up where we left off, and we'll finish this video up. So here we go. So we're on Thrun, Breaker of Silence. And the last thing we were talking about was his being protected from non-green spells and abilities. And then so the last thing is, as long as it's your turn, Thrun has indestructible. So that's pretty cool. So very hard to remove once it's on the table, and I mean, it can't be countered, so it pretty much goes on the table under most circumstances. Since actually I last recorded, when I was recording this video, I started working on a new deck anyway. And this might go right into there. So I am building Rurik Thar, the Unbowed. Very creature-centric deck. Obviously, once your commander's out, you don't want to be casting non-creature spells. Usually you want them to have ETBs, but this might be something to have. I am trying to build it mostly with stuff I have in my collection with, I'll get a few things if I need to, but this might go in there at least for now until I replace it. So that's cool. Good to see. And let's look at the rest of these now. So that was Thrun. We already did Urtet, so we'll put him back. All right, so let's see what we got here. Green Sun's Twilight. Reveal the top. It's a green X, or X and green. Reveal the top X plus 1 cards of your library. Choose a creature and or land card from among them. Put those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So that's already pretty decent. If X is 5 or more, instead put the chosen cards onto the battlefield or into your hand and the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. So this might fit in that deck as well. There's a couple things I don't have. So I mean, I don't really want to be casting a sorcery, but in the short term, this could be a way to pay 6 life for casting it as well, and still might be worth it if I can dig up something good. We'll see. That probably won't, but it might be something interesting to think about. The other interesting thing is I'm glad I pulled this, now that I'm thinking about it. I hadn't noticed, but when I was getting out of my car, the box topper Green Sun's Twilight that they gave me when I picked up my box had slid out of its envelope and into the snow, and my son picked it up like an hour later. I'm currently trying to recover it. We'll see what happens, but worst case, I have one here, so that worked out. Hopefully I can recover it and I'll have 2, but we'll see. We'll see. It's been sitting there for a few days now, like a week. I should probably go check on it. I just thought of that. Red Sun's Twilight. X, red. Destroy up to X target artifacts. If X is 5 or more, for each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step. Interesting. So, not quite, like a Vandal Blast, but if you pay at least 5, so 7 mana for this. I'll have a lot of ramp in a red-green deck. Maybe I can put this in my Rurik deck as well, though again, probably not, because I'll probably want creatures that do similar things. Threshing Brontodon, that sort of thing, maybe, for destroying artifacts. Vindictive Flame Stoker. We saw this, yeah. 1 red for a 1/2 wizard, Phyrexian wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Vindictive Flame Stoker, 6 in red, sacrifice Vindictive Flame Stoker, discard your hand, then draw 4 cards. The ability costs 1 less for each oil counter on it. So that's alright. I mean, you get this out on turn 1, and you empty your hand, that's 6 more spells if you don't even draw 1, if you can cast them all, yeah. So by the time your hand's almost empty and you'd want to discard it anyway, have this down to 1 or 2 mana. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, we got our forest here. I don't think we saw these yet in the uncommon slots, so let's take a look. Veil of Assimilation, 1 and a white for an artifact. Whenever a Veil of Assimilation or another artifact enters the battlefield under your control, target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains Vigilance until end of turn. That's interesting. Probably more unlimited. Can't think of anything right now I'd want that in, but that's all right. It's a cool looking card. It's a little creepy. That mask is something else. Let's get back to focus on this. Waken the Sleeper, 3 and 1, red. For a sorcery, gain control target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, gains haste until end of turn. If it's equipped, you may destroy all equipment attached to that creature. Okay, so it's a typical red spell. This is very limited fodder, unless you're building your deck around taking over your opponent's creatures. I like that it can remove the equipment, so if something's all buffed up, you just steal it, destroy all their equipment, and use it against them. Quicksilver Fisher, we've already seen in red. Bone Picker Scourge, we've already read. Duress, anybody's seen it, but we haven't read it yet in this set, so I want to look at the art. Crawling Chorus is that creepy card, yeah. 1 white for a 1/1 Phyrexian horror creature, toxic 1. When Crawling Chorus dies, create a 1/1 colorless Phyrexian Might artifact creature token with toxic 1, and this creature can't block. Oh, cool. So it's one of those, it's like an Azorius type, it replaces itself, but it's like a Phyrexianized version. That's kind of neat. Volshock Splitter, 3 and 1 for an equipment, artifact equipment, 4 Mirrodin. So comes into play attached to a 2/2 red rebel creature token. Equipped creature gets +2, and equipped for 2 and a red. So basically a 4/2 for 4, and then equipment if they ever kill the creature. So that's all right. Definitely unlimited. I could see that seeing play. Comes in with its own body as 4/2 for 4. I mean, 4 mana for a 4/2 is not great, but leaves an equipment behind. Furnace Skullbomb, 1 colorless for an artifact. 1 color, sacrifice Furnace Skullbomb, draw a card. Spellbomb stuff. 1 and a red, sacrifice Skullbomb, put 2 oil counters on target artifact or creature you draw a card, or control, draw a card, activate as a sorcery. Okay, so yeah, that'd be good in like a oil-based deck, or something that cares about just whatever tokens, or unlimited if you have stuff that cares about oil. Lots of things in this set do, so you could see that seeing play as a later pick toward down the line. Dress, 1 and black for sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-creature, non-land card from it, and that player discards it. Typical stuff. That's a cool art, though. Yeah, not bad. All right. So there. That is that pack. And we're going to leave it there. Pack, 10. So it's 10, so we have 11 and 12 left. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comments section down below what cards you think was the best in this pack, whether this pack was a hit or miss. I know Urtet is pretty popular. So I think at the time of printing, this version was $30 Canadian, so not terrible. That's a little more than what one of these packs goes for, so we'll call that a win. We'll see y'all next time. Take care.